Razor. All three heroes have seen a fair amount of play lately, rising in popularity, or I believe in the case of Tiny, kind of falling a bit. Chen himself actually has sort of, for some teams, exploded. They've really started to use him. You end games very quickly with this hero. He can really influence lanes and can just be kind of a nuisance to play against. That Hand of God can be a game changer. And then Sand King, another one of the most popular supports, occasionally played as an offlane as well, being banned out by Spicy Thieves, and that's their final ban of this first phase. Now, no Courier Snipe, waiting on what they want to get rid of. There's still stuff like the Earth Spirit, Witch Doctor, also still available, so we'll see how they decide to approach this. Forgive me, I am in the middle of writing an essay, but once the draft really gets started, I will be stopping. Promise. Anyways, no Courier Snipe taking some time on this final ban. There's a lot of stuff that they may want to get rid of. Again, namely things like the Witch Doctor, Earth Spirit, pretty high impact hero, but they're going to get rid of that Tusk, similar in the same vein as the Earth Spirit, and Spicy Thieves immediately picking up Nature's Prophet, another hero who has, most of the time I've watched these two teams played, banned out in this first phase, but immediately picked up by Spicy Thieves as it is allowed to slip through this time. A strong opening pick, provides some good global presence, scales reasonably well, decent in the early game thanks to his TP ganks with Sprout. Good base damage also on him, lets him trade efficiently with supports, can use his treants to pull the wave in his favor, and could jungle if all else fails. An overall very safe pick, and can be incredibly high impact. Meanwhile, Courier Snipe picking up the Vengeful Spirit as their first pick, and now waiting for their next hero. There's a little bit to, there's some options like Disruptor if they want to get another support. Shadow Shaman is occasionally still picked. Witch Doctor is still there. Bane. Again, those are if they want supports. You've got Brewmaster. Elder Titan is a big one that is still available for no Courier Snipe. We'll see how they decide to proceed with this, though. Ancient Apparition, also still in the pool. Puck. Very open-ended with the Vengeful Spirit. They may want to get a wave clearing support or support with some AoE up against Spicy Thieves, Nature's Prophet. And they're just going to grab that AA in the end. Global Presence can, depending on what other heroes you pick around it, can set up some really crazy ganks around the map. Also kind of dissuades Spicy Thieves from picking certain heroes. But Spicy Thieves going to grab another strong support in the form of this Rubik. Now into the second phase of bans, Spicy Thieves have likely their offlane on the Nature's Prophet. I have seen support Nature's Prophet, just played as the 4, roam, can jungle if you needed to. And his base damage is really, really high, so again, can bully out certain offlaners. But more likely to be an offlane hero. It's very, I still believe it's pretty greedy to
Radiant team ban.
to run it in the support role.
Dire team ban.
Underlord and Terrorblade banned out as the first two bans in the second phase. So we'll see how what they want to go for next on no Courier Snipe. Again, I think they need some wave clearing heroes. I think Venge as the 4. I'm not sure whether Venge AA is going to be the 4. I think AA probably does more with some items.
5 seconds
Venge
remaining.
can kind of sit at level 2 or 3 pretty contentedly. Meanwhile, AA wants to get that level 6. That's really when that hero starts to shine. Phantom Lancer still in the pool. Another hero that Spicy Thieves might want to ban is, again, they don't really have good wave clear either. No Courier Snipe could also consider removing it. And they already removed one illusion hero in the form of the Terrorblade. And with the Underlord ban, I feel like NCS kind of on the back foot a bit. Probably one of the better options for wave clear for them. And then Tidehunter also banned out by Spicy Thieves, while Abaddon is removed by no Courier Snipe. So Jara was first phase banned. They themselves could go for a like a Phantom Lancer, decent against the Nature's Prophet, can chase him down. You can get inside his trees, get out of his trees, which is perhaps more important.
10 seconds remaining.
Dark Willow,
5
still in the
seconds
pool.
remaining.
I've seen this hero run in the off lane. Although I do believe Spicy Thieves would be more likely to pick it than no Courier Snipe. Batrider also still around if they want to go for that kind of off lane or get some pick off potential. Pretty good against Nature's Prophet, but NP also decent against the Batrider, I think. Just in the sense that pretty easy to get vision on him with the Sprout.
Team pick.
But no Courier Snipe, going to be going for a Witch Doctor, signaling this is a carry Vengeful Spirit. I think that's okay. And again, this is a scrim, so these teams likely to be experimenting with certain things here and there. I'm not a huge fan of the carry Venge. I think it's alright, but I think you kind of need some really, really heavy duty. I mean, they've got a lot of damage with Witch Doctor in the AA, but I think they're going to need a heavy-duty mid laner, especially now that that's still not any wave clear for them up against this PL, up against the Nature's Prophet. The push could be incredibly difficult for no Courier Snipe to deal with effectively, if they can deal with it at all against Spicy Thieves lineup.
10 seconds remaining.
Let's see, what's available for them to
5
grab? They could go for the Death Prophet, good AoE with the Crypt Swarm, but also decent against Phantom Lancer with the Silence. Let's see. So for an offlaner, Omni Knight also still available. Could be good if he goes for like Radiance on that hero. It's just so good. Radiance on the Omni Knight is an awesome item, so it would be a decent pickup for him, I think. And I think does fine up against a lot of these heroes. Purification actually a decent wave clearing nuke, but they're going to go with that Nyx Assassin instead, looking for those pickoffs on heroes like the Nature's Prophet. Nyx goes great with an AA on his team, is very, very aggressive. You can find some really quick picks with that AA Blast plus Vendetta, and Spicy Thieves themselves are picking up that Omni Knight. A great pick for them in the off lane, and it looks like it is possibly going to be that support Nature's Prophet. Could be a support Omni, but support Omni did get nerfed a little bit, so we'll see. I'm going to go with support Nature's Prophet offlane Omni. Omni in this offlane will be very hard to kill. His ult going to be decent against the Witch Doctor this game, as well as the Venge. But still a reasonable amount of magic damage thanks to that AA Blast. Death Prophet less appealing now for no Courier Snipe, I feel like. It's not bad. The Viper Band, a good call from NCS, though. I think that would have been really, really hard for them to kill. A very, very tanky mid, and just with those heroes surrounding him, would have been almost impossible to wipe out. But no Courier Snipe themselves, I'm not sure.
10 seconds remaining. Team pick.
Templar Assassin ended up being banned out. I think it would have been okay. Good wave clear, but again, I just don't know that no Courier Snipe have the wave clear to deal with PL unless they just crush him in the lane so that he can't ever come online. Let's see. For Spicy Thieves, though, if they're looking for a mid-hero, they could probably go the Death Prophet themselves. Strong push.
5 seconds remaining.
Puck also still available as a very safe mid laner. Gets you some good engage, has respectable damage, pretty elusive. And the stuns on no Courier Snipe, not the most reliable, although Nyx's stun is usually pretty easy to land if you come out of the invis with it. The Spicy Thieves are going to grab that Venomancer for themselves, and we'll see where that ends up going. I think it might be a mid-PL. I'm not positive, though. We'll see how they end up laning it. For mids for no Courier Snipe, they could go something tanky like the Dragon Knight, but again, not very good wave clear. OD also still available, but again, no real wave clears, and they're going to need to be able to kill things like the Nature's Prophet trees, the PL illusions, and then the Venom Wards are also going to be really obnoxious, and no Courier are going to go for that Lycan. And I don't really like their draft. I think they're expecting a mid-PL, and thus they're going to pick... I don't know. I don't really like the Dire draft. It could work. It's really greedy, and greedy drafts, of course, if you get late enough, can work really, really well. Lycan is a pretty strong hero right now, is a good laner. Could be their safe lane, I believe, with Fav playing it. Again, I have no idea who they're sending mid. Could be AA, I suppose. We'll see. But again, this is just a friendly scrimmage. No Courier Snipe versus Spicy Thieves. We'll see how this ends up playing out. I'm a little bit... I think I'm going to favor the Radiant draft. They have a lot of pushing power. They scale really well. They have good early game. They're going to be really, really hard to fight into. The AA blasts, like it's going to be a lot of... I mean, their AoE is just gnarly. Just the Veno ult plus the Nature's Prophet ult can be devastating. But they have a lot of pick potential on the side of the Dire. With that Nyx Assassin AA blast, there could be a lot of damage done very, very quickly. But enough of that. We're going to see how this game is really going to play out. And on the side of the Radiant, which I believe is Spicy Thieves, we have Control. Phantom Lancer being played by Fragisha. Nature's Prophet by Cybonic. Rubik is picked up by Live Grade. LDK playing the Venomancer. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Vengeful Spear being played by Fav. Lycan by Magi. Going to be going mid on that Lycan. Scary Kitten playing the Nyx Assassin. Bobo DePro on the Witch Doctor. AA being played by Clammy. It's pretty gnarly looking lane down there. A lot of stuns can set up for that AA route, the AA stun. Which is a fairly long duration stun. Decent damage as well. But I think the most frightening part about AA and lane, of course, is the chilling touch. Nature's probably going to have a bit of an issue, I think. The cast's going to be really good against him, as it does stun his treants for 5 seconds, making him really easy to clean up for the supports. Although, I still don't think it's that bad for Cybonic in the lane, though. He can pull creeps with his Sprout. He can go into the jungle if he really, really needs to. They're putting Cybonic in the safe lane, and I imagine it's both teams may be running an aggressive tri-lane. Who knows, though? If he starts TP, he could just go wherever. So we'll see how he really ends up going. But Bobo and Fab are down here. Wondering if it is going to be 2-1-2s. The way these supports are kind of positioned around the map, it looks that way. They want to get levels on both the Witch Doctor and the Ancient Apparition. Get those very high priority, high value, high damage ults online as soon as they can. Bobo with that Sentry Ward, could block a camp. And it is support Nature's Prophet with mid Omni Knight. I think that matches up pretty well for the Omni against the Lycan. He probably wins this lane, and 3 bounty runes going the way of the Dire, and only 1 the way of the Radiant. But not a disaster. It's not going to be, you know, too horrible. It's just 120 gold total going the way of the Dire heroes each. So it's like 600 gold. So it's a good little advantage, but not the end of the world. Base damage wise, they're pretty even, so it should be fine on CS for both sides. Once some levels in the degen aura start coming out, though, that's going to become really obnoxious for the Lycan. Cybonic with his trees. Phantom Lancer gone up to the top lane. They're going to be running an aggressive tri-lane of their own, except LDK now TPing to the bot. Venomancer probably going to be soloing against this. And this is a fine place for the Veno to be. Clammy needs to be cautious. These Sprouts do a respectable amount of damage, especially against a 2 armor Ancient Apparition. But starting with the Treants does mean he can't really gank yet. He is getting the greedy strats going into the jungle, but immediately these Dire supports start moving that way. With Bobo going to be soaking, trying to last hit those creeps as much as he can. Hasn't skilled up anything yet. And we'll get a last hit on that Treant. So both teams are competing for the jungle here, and he's just highly contested. This does create some space for that Venomancer. And mid, perhaps a rotation since they are here. They may be going that way. I wonder if they spotted those 2 heroes. Yeah, they see the Witch Doctor nearby, so they must be aware of enemy heroes, but they themselves have a few heroes in the neighborhood. Could go for a kill if they... that'd be pretty bold. But 2 heroes dedicated to shutting down this Nature's Prophet, that's okay. But then your supports don't do anything else. They have the bounce going around between these 2 heroes. The Lifto throwing this Bobo back. He's getting hit by the Sprout trees as well, and he's dead. First blood going the way of Cybonic. And those 2 supports at level 1 aren't really that scary. You have that 1 stun that's sort of unreliable. Yes, you have Chilling Touch, but I don't know if that's enough that is enough by itself. This gives LDK a lot of space to chill out, and as he gets more levels, this Venom going to be more and more difficult to play against as the game goes on, especially as he starts stacking levels in Plague Ward. I imagine he'll get a point in Poison Sting at level 3 or 4, but the second level of Plague Wards is very, very strong. Just huge increase of its HP. Going from one-shotting it to like 4-shotting it. In terms of CS, Magi doing pretty well. Control pretty happy in this lane, except that he's pretty under-leveled, actually. I think he missed some wave XP going into the jungle there. But, again, I'm not overly concerned about this Omni not finding levels or gold. He's not a super greedy hero. Yeah, he wants to get his Radiance quickly, but it's also not going to be a huge deal either way. Frogisha going to be doing all right up here in this lane. Nyx Assassin, they're also pretty happy. Both offlaners and I think are pretty content with how the lanes are going. They'll get their levels, and both those heroes do a lot of work with levels. They may even get their items at a relatively fast pace, like Blanks or Veils or Maelstroms, whatever. I know those are all items Benno can go. The Nyx really wants to get that Blink Dagger. We'll have his Arcane Rune before too long. Looks like he's going to be going for a Meteor Hammer as his second item, and that next item probably a Force Staff. So we'll soon have his Arcane Boots, allowing him to spam out some of his spells, and at the bottom, Magic Missile coming out onto Rubik. Rubik getting extremely low, pops the lift. The Maledict coming onto him. He's taking a lot of damage. The Wave of Terror. He should take down to that Maledict. He's trying to TP home, but will he make it? Looks like Livegrade will narrowly live through that. However, Venomancer not quite so fortunate, going to get right-clicked to death and killed off by Fab. Needs to be cautious going up against that. He is only level 3, so his wards aren't very tanky, don't do a ton of damage, and those slows aren't the most potent thing in the world. But again, a death in the offlane or for the offlaner, not horrible, but this tri-lane beginning to shape up a bit for, what team is this? No CS, no Courier Snipe. My bad. DD Rune on Control. We'll try to trade up with Magi, but Magi closing in on that level 6. Well, Control just only hitting level 5, so very far behind XP-wise on this Omni Knight. Purification nuke coming in, but again, only level 2 Purification, not a ton of damage, and there's a lot of regen coming out from this Feral Impulse. But again, coming in on Control, he doesn't have any points in the repel either. A lot of damage. Hal pop to increase that right click damage without the cold feet or the chilling touch. That's a lot, but he's just so tanky. 9 armor. Yeah, he just was able to walk that off. This cast bounce is not really going the way of the Dire, and Control was largely unfazed by that.
No good blessings.
Fab in this bot lane doing really well in terms of CS. Restore the enemy cores, but everyone is farming about as well as they need to, I think. Nature's Prophet getting that jungle farm, so even though LDK is a bit behind, it's not horrible. Fab trying to trade up has a point in that Vengeance Aura, so hits fairly hard actually with those right clicks, and of course Magic Missile nuke. Easy to follow up in terms of damage. With Livegrade here, I don't know if they really have kill potential unless they get the Nature's Prophet to come. But again, Nature's Prophet able to TP around the map, has that teleportation. No Sprout, though, means fairly limited crowd control outside of slows. Don't get me wrong, this slow is strong, and it lasts a very long time. But Nature's Prophet, Cybonic now being pinged out by Clammy. Clammy going to try to get that stun onto him, but he should be able to walk it off. Cybonic going to be just fine. And the ward, perhaps Bobo trying to farm it up, but wants to get his clarity to continue ticking. Loses that clarity, but mostly full mana anyway, and we'll find a little bit of gold and a little bit of XP from that ward. LDK. Almost level 5 at the cast coming out now. They get the Malediction onto him. They pop the Chilling Touch, but a little bit of an awkward engagement there. Fab not positioned for the Magic Missile, so we'll be just fine. Livegrade needs to be cautious not to get Magic Missile, as that is a lot of damage. What, that's 250 damage to the Rubik's at the moment, 400 HP. But LDK himself also needs to be careful. Venge hit very hard in the early game with that Magic Missile. A lot of kill potential down here in this lane. Bobo trying to sneak around. Maybe wants to try to dive LDK. 3 points into Plague Wards. Does provide a lot of vision. Helps him CS as well. Pretty slow start to this game. Both teams just getting a little bit of getting the occasional kill, trying to farm where they can. But at the moment, Dire are winning on farm, boasting a small 1k gold lead here at the 7-minute 30-second mark. Control now level 6, does have 3 points in that degen aura and 3 points in the purification. Just wants to try to beat up with Magi. Needs to be careful though. This guy hits hard and does have Howl to provide pseudo healing to himself. Rubik rotating up top. They may want to try to make a play onto Scary Kitten. But a really hard kill. He has Spike Carapace, he has Vendetta. Popping the Carapace already. Needs to be careful. The Spear Lance coming forward, and immediately Vendetta's trying to get away. Meanwhile, Bobo going after Cybonic. Bobo himself, level 4. The cask will bounce around to his feet. Malediction coming out. However, Rubik getting the kill onto this Nyx Assassin, and Bobo just to watch as Nature's Prophet TPs away.
Dire's top tower isn't well at the moment.
Or Rubik and PL together getting the kill on the Nyx Assassin.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
TP towards mid from the Nature's Prophet. Maybe wants to try to help his teammate out. He does have a Soul Ring on this Omni Knight. The cast going to bounce between these two heroes, though. Maybe actually dooming that Omni Knight. He needs to get away, but no, he's actually going to get stunned up, and now he's in serious trouble. Malediction coming up, but it's not going to matter. Purification comes out in time. Fade Bolt does finish off that Lycan, and Control survives that. Looked very, very dangerous. Or Earn charge onto Clammy. They do have a Sprout in 1 second, trapping this Ancient Apparition inside. They pop the Sprout now, or the Spawn Treants, Nature's Call, and the Salve coming out. He should be able to get out of here. A nice Salve. They didn't commit another Earn charge to cancel. So only the Lycan going down, but not the hero they want to be losing. PL now at the top of last hits. Right behind him is that Vengeful Spirit, and then Lycan. Omni Knight struggling a bit, but again, this hero doesn't really need that much farm to get going, to be high impact. Oh, Scary Kitten has Vendetta. The heal coming out from Fragisha, and now actually the Illusion's maybe going to get the kill up to jump away, trying to dodge that. He just get that last hit. Now Bobo in serious trouble. There's an Illusion army here. Spirit Lance, but he's going to retreat, seeing AA TP up to this lane. Doesn't want to risk it. And a nice solo kill from Fragisha onto Scary Kitten. Fab trying to farm up these Veno wards. LDK level 6 now has that Poison Nova. But Fab's damage is enough to farm up these Veno wards pretty quickly. He's not overly concerned with it. TP coming up to the top lane from this Nyx Assassin. No Vendetta, so unlikely to really go for anything. Cybonic trying to find that level 6, wants to get the Wrath of Nature. In mid, Control still getting bullied by this Lycan now with Max Howl and Max Feral Impulse. He hits really, really hard with very few items and has a lot of health regen. He's sitting on 17 HP regen just naturally. The headdress helping out with that, and a DD rune on Fab. Repel immediately popped by Control. They don't have another swap available, and he should be able to get out of here. But Bobo getting lifted, thrown back, and Magic Missile flies out onto the live grid. A couple more right clicks will do the trick. They have a Purification to save him. No, they don't. Actually, not enough mana on Control, and the stun bouncing to him, so he's not able to Soul Ring and save his teammate. Now Fab TPing back to the bot lane, but up top they're going after Scary Kitten, who does have Vendetta available. I don't think they have any detection for him. The Wrath of Nature flies, but not doing anything to this Nyx Assassin, who may actually turn and try to get this Nature's Prophet. Again, no detection on Cybonic or Fragisha. Oh. Scary Kitten lurking in the back, wants to get some help. The Rubik is TP'd up and is here, pops it, spots the Nyx, throws him back. Are they going to be able to get him? He's slowed up. They need to get the Sprout on him before he leaves the vision. The Urn flies out, but it looks like he is able to get away. They don't have any other detection. He should survive, and it will TP back to Fountain for good measure. Now the top tier 1 claimed by Radiant Heroes. No lasted on any of their heroes, so none of that little bonus gold, but still a nice little stipend for the rest of the team. Phantom Lancer closing in on Diffusal Blade as well, merely 1,100 gold away. And once he gets that, his illusions will be a much more significant threat. They're beginning to pressure this tier 2 already, knowing with this army of Treants, they have the advantage in this lane. Wrath of Nature flying out.
Dire's top tower He's not on top.
Fab just getting bothered. They're throwing out the sneeze. One more. Does have his ult available, but needs to be careful in this. He pops it, and Fab taking a lot of damage over time. Will he survive? He switches to strength, treads. And now getting teased. LDK continuing pursuit. Does have that and trying to man fight up against it. Oh, he does die, but he might actually get Fab. And it looks like he should tick down. So the killing spree ending, and in the mid, they're looking for more stun onto control, as well as the right click coming out. Cybonic is here trying to help out. He doesn't, no purification. Pops his repelled, needs to get away. One more right click, not going to do it. The range creep, not enough damage. And he pops the stick charges and will survive. Cybonic with a nice sprout to zone them from pursuing up high ground any further. And Bobo finishing his urn. The 20 damage talent picked up by Magi, hitting like a truck this Lycan with basically 0 items, going for Mask of Madness, which is not typical. We usually see them go for that. Sometimes they'll go Helm of the Dominator, then Necro, sometimes just straight into the Necro book. Sort of what I expected. He does have the Helm of the Dominator, but not going for that Necro, it seems. But still, very good push, especially with the help of Fab's Vengeance Aura, which he has maxed. So this Lycan hits super hard, like 200 damage a hit when he's near Fab. LDK, his ult on cooldown. He is trying to get a Veil of Discord. Has the Helm of Iron Will. Really glad to see him pick that up as a first item. And he is spotted by Clammy, though, in the trees. They pop the Howl, doing a lot of damage to this tower, just chunking it away. And yeah, this tower is dead, but it looks like they will exchange the tier 1 mid as well. Control trying to just cut the wave up, trying to tease, but it looks like LDK could be in serious trouble. They see him. He needs to be able to TP, but he can't. Trying to throw down those wards and be as much of a nuisance as he possibly can. They spotted this this Venomancer, who's just throwing out wards, now going to get stunned. Can't move, nowhere to go. It's just going to be a slow, agonizing death. Nope, they finally turned on him, and he gets massacred. The magic missile flying, and the damage from the chilling touch, very, very significant. Adds up incredibly quickly, but drums completed on Cybonic. Bolt bouncing around, trying to clear up the wave, harass these enemy heroes. Phantom Lancer with his Diffusal Blade cooling down. Will try to look for this kill. They get the stun onto Ruby, taking a ton of damage, just chunked up. And there's 4 dire heroes down here. They're unlikely to be able to get anything, and they need to be incredibly cautious. There's a swap available on Fab. Actually, no, he hasn't plated it yet. Again, I guess as a core, you don't really need it early at all. You'd rather just get the Vengeance Aura, the Max Magic Missile, the nuke damage to be able to man fight against others. Control, getting popping his repelled. Good timing. Need to be careful about this Lycan. He hits so hard. Malediction flying out and now going on to this Bobo. Bobo getting very, very low. The AA Blast does graze them, but doesn't hit them. The Veno ult coming out as well. Control looks like he should tick to death. But Magi himself could be in serious trouble, taking a lot of damage, getting low, but pops the stick charges, getting very, very healthy, and it's a difficult chase. But if anyone can chase, it's the Phantom Lancer with that Phantom Rush, but it doesn't look like he'll be able to do it. The Wave of Terror spotting them out, and now Fab trying to get away, and it looks like he should be able to escape, and all those dire heroes, except for the Witch Doctor, do manage to slip away, and they get some pressure onto this tier 2 tower. Not really, a little bit of chip damage, and they kill off the Omni Knight, an important hero.
Radiant's middle tower is under
and
attack.
Just get away with it. However, PL still sitting at the top of the net worth, but right behind him is Venge and then Lycan. However, then there's 3 Radiant heroes, 3 Spicy Thieves heroes. It's this Nature's Prophet, basically another core. LDK a little bit behind, but Veno much more focused on his spells being good than just using his abilities. GPM talent picked up by this Omni Knight, and looks like he has turned away from going that Radiance. It's probably the best item in the game on that hero. Like, you get Radiance, and then you get level 20, get that Degen Aura, and no one can get away from you. Cast coming out, looks like that stun will connect on the live grade. Malediction also coming out, and that's a quick, easy Vendetta kill for Scary Kitten onto live grade. Be careful, Cybonic. That stun not going to latch. Vanguard completed on the Omni Knight, but I'm not really a huge fan of that. I don't think it's actually going to do anything for him. Yeah, the right clicks are going to hurt a little less, but it's... You know, I'm not impressed with that pickup. It's even coming in from LDK. They're trying to do what they can, but the Howl damage to swap back onto this Veno. Veno getting nuked now. They're trying to keep him alive as much as they can and turn Fab might have swapped himself into a really precarious situation. And yeah, that was an unhealthy swap. They do manage to get that tower with the stolen catapult and the wolves. But Fab loses his life for it. And even though they got that tower, it's still a 2k gold lead in favor of Spicy Thieves. Necrobook now on the agenda for this Lycan. It looks like he didn't go for that Mask of Madness. That's just a weird item for Lycan Mask. I don't know. Not a fan of it. But closing in on Necro 2 as well. Once you get Necro 1, the rest comes pretty quickly. It feels like you can push faster, you can kill heroes a lot faster too, especially when you pop that Howl. Fab with his Dragon Lance and Vladimir's offering. Had that for a little while now, I'm sure. Wasn't really paying too close attention to those items, which is a mistake on my part. Oh, Phantom Lancer. Underneath this ward here, it was just recently placed. He's farming that up, but they look like they want to go after this Rubik, a much squishier target. The lift coming out with Magic Missile will finish him off. Actually, a right click does. Veil of Discord now done on the Venomancer. A lot of damage coming out from that Veno ult.
Radiant's middle tower is not safe.
And the mid tier 1, the last tier 1 for the Radiant, Spicy Thieves, likely to fall soon as a 5-man push is coming in. They don't really have the heroes to defend it. I don't know if it's worth defending it. Maybe launch the Nature's ult, but that would be it. As they're just going to start pressuring this high ground. They have an illusion. They have illusions. They have the Venomancer, and they force the TPs back from the Nyx Assassin. He's just trying to build up the illusion army. Bobo going to need to be careful. The AA blast flies forward. It does connect onto Progisha, so he's definitely going to want to back after that. Control in the mid, getting gone on the Maledict should finish him off, but he takes down to Clammy's damage over time from the cold feet. Prophet ult flies out, bouncing around, doing some good damage. The Urn flies out onto live grid. He needs to be careful about Bobo's damage. The cast coming up in just a couple seconds. Cybonic, they see them. The cast flying out. It does bounce to the deathboard, doing some damage. Cybonic now in trouble as he's targeted by it, but his two supports are in trouble. The Fab also getting pretty low. The Veil onto him, doing a lot of damage. The Veno ult does not connect onto Fab, but it does connect onto Bobo, who's taking a lot of tick damage. He has Voodoo Restoration, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to save him. However, with only 2 ranks in the Gale and only 2 ranks in the Poison Sting, he should be just fine. Bobo, on the other hand, looks like he's in serious trouble. The AA Blast flies forward, not going to connect onto anybody. It doesn't even graze them. And they claim that support while Fab TPs to safety. If the Veno ult had hit Fab, maybe they kill Fab. Maybe that Venge dies. But Nyx, ooh, he's on the prowl, wants to get a kill on Cybonic, gets the stun off, doesn't get the bonus damage though, and the mana burn, all he needs is that right click. But himself likely to die here. I don't know how worthwhile that was for him. A bit greedy for Scary Kid to go after that, as Fergisha now on a killing spree. Looks like he wants to go for a Shadow Blade, and before long he'll have enough for that Claymore. Already has enough for that Shadow Amulet. Fab continuing from the jungle, wants to go for a Maelstrom. They need that kind of answer against the PL Illusion Army, and against, of course, the Nature's Prophet. There's just there's so much stuff you have to deal with if you're Dire. Just PL Illusions, Veno wards, you have Treants. There's a lot of things on the screen. Of course, they put a fair amount of things on screen with themselves, from the Lycan Wolves, the Helm of the Dominator creep, and the Necro Book. Looks like he is going to get that level 3 Necro Book here in just a second. This camp will find enough gold for that. Net worth, though, still barely favoring Spicy Thieves. There's no Courier Snipe. They were leading with XP, but it looks like it's kind of to shift. LDK with a hood on the way. Double damage on this Nyx Assassin. He could grab that bounty room, but doesn't want to be spotted doing so. Wants to try to maybe bait LDK onto going into it. And that's exactly what's going to happen. He does steal it, goes on to LDK, now gets the stun off, has a mana burn as well, gets some extra damage, and the DD doing some good work, pops his Carapace as well. The Nature's Wrath flies forward, but actually just going to stun himself. The Nature's Prophet that Eels flies out now. He does have Impale in just 1 second. The Mana Burn not going to do any damage, so he needs to continue that pursuit. Nature's Prophet TPing and has Impale. It does connect, and one more right click does the trick, but he's trapped in the trees now. Finds yet another kill, but it looks like he's going to cost himself. He does get dusted just a good measure, and Live Grade stealing that Impale and finishing off the Nyx Assassin. But seeing so many heroes TP to the bot lane, Dire immediately turn their attention to Roshan. They have the Venge Aura, they have the Wave of Terror, they have, I believe, I don't think there's Medallion on anybody, but Magi, they shred this Roche. Vegas now on Fab, so despite losing their Nyx, he created just enough space for them to go in and grab that Aegis, giving them a big advantage in the coming fight. We'll see what they decide to do with that Aegis. Likely want to try to claim any of these tier 2s. I don't think they'll be able to get high ground with this Aegis or even approach high ground. I mean, they might be able to approach it, but All the tier 2s are up, all fairly healthy. I mean, they've got Avenged Lycan. The possibility is there that they get that shove going and just do tons and tons of damage. And I mean, they demolish buildings so quickly, but I'm still not sure. Their only real initiation is Nyx Assassin Vendetta or a swap. So, and I don't know that Fab really wants to swap. And with the Aegis, of course, can be a little bit more aggressive. And they're looking after this Assassin popping that dust again. He has a Meteor Hammer available. He's trying to channel it, but they just move away and kill him off. Fragisha now dominating, and even though they're going to be getting that Maelstrom on the Vengeful Spirit, and they already have that Maelstrom on the Vengeful Spirit, I'm not sure if it's enough. Fragisha with a Shadow Blade, going for an S and Y as his next item, and oh, Clammy, I think you're dead. The defusal, some right clicks, and a double kill for this Phantom Lancer. He quickly cleans up that support. Still at the top of the net worth, and only building his lead. He's also level 18. Getting up to 20 talent soon. Cybonic going after a 4th staff. Rubik trying to finish his arcane boots while ADK going for a Shiva's guard now that he has this little personal magic barrier. Control now going after that Radiance. A little bit slower than if he didn't go for that Vanguard, but it's okay. It's not going to be a horrible Radiance. He's going to have the Relic now. We'll get the recipe pretty quickly. They're going after, a nice long-range stun, but there are a bunch of other heroes in the neighborhood. Witch Doctor popping that Glimmer Cape. Maybe wants to try to get in position for a cask and an ult. Does see the one. The stun going to bounce between these two heroes. The repel will cancel it, but Livegrade going to continue to be stunned by that cask. However, they do have to back off. Needs to be cautious if you're the Dire, and PL just splitting up this game. He really is not afraid of these heroes at all. Video with the Vendetta, though. He does have Juxtaposition. May want to pop the Vendetta damage, doing good, but Scary Kit now getting extremely low. Has his Spike Carapace, but the Illusion Army likely to kill him off even through that Carapace. And yeah, Fargisha finishing him, and now they get the deny at the top tower. Ooh, no, that was a tier 3. That's not really what they want to do, but a fight breaking out of the bot lane. Magi popping his ult. Livegrade stealing it, though. This Rubik with that crit. The ranged right clicks will get Fab, but Fab does have that Aegis, but the Lycan does go down anyway. And now Fab stranded, stuck between I guess a rock and a hard place. This isn't an appropriate analogy, but still getting low. The Purification, nuke flying out, matching missile, and he's a goner. That Rubik, it's so cute. Look how little he is. But you know what wasn't little is the advantage that Spicy Thieves gained after that fight. That really, I think, just completely changes the tempo of the game. A massive 2.1k gold swing, a 4.2k XP swing. They get a tier 3 at the top, even though it was denied. This means shrines are vulnerable, so they can claim a lot more map control. Phantom Lancer is just untouchable, it feels like. Yeah, XP just spiking in favor of Spicy Thieves. Gold also going into a sharp incline in their favor. And it's starting to look really rough if you're the Dire. No Courier Snipe. They do have a pretty good team fight. The Death Ward, the AA Blast, although that's really their whole team fight. But a good Nyx stun could set up for a lot of important kills. I still worry for them, though, going forward. It's going to be hard for them to count. They have good push themselves, but so do Spicy Thieves. It's going to be really hard to deal with their push. Your wave clear is really just this Vengeful Spirit, the Meteor Hammer channeling from Cybonic. Stuns the tower and will start to chip it down a bit. Nyx himself holding onto a Meteor Hammer and has a lot of good setup with it with that 2.8 second impale stun. The mid tower, meanwhile, getting claimed by Fargisha, who is just not even in the fights, but sitting at 14k net worth, level 20. He got that max juxtapose illusions, meaning he can have 14 PL illusions. Looks like they do want to try to get him. They know which one is real. They pop the Glimmer Cape. They did see this Witch Doctor, though. He jumps over the wall. He has a cast, does launch it. It does connect on those, just the PL and his one illusion, but they're not gonna be able to get any kind of follow-up. Nyx Assassin stunning the creep wave, trying to cut it up. And Nature's Prophet also just going top and starting to push.
Gold for me.
Vengeful Spirit, second highest on the net worth, still 3k gold behind this Phantom Lancer. Going for a Shadow Blade of her own now that her Hurricane Pike is completed. We'll give her improved survivability, can use Nether Swap more aggressively without too much fear of the repercussions, without worrying too much about just getting killed. And they're going to try to defend the shrine, but PL spots him out. He needs to be careful. He gets Magic Missile. He needs to avoid that stun. The Ice Blast connects onto him, but he jumps away with the Juxtaposition. He's on the run now, popping that stealth. but the Malediction plus the AA Blast actually likely to kill him off. I think he's going to go down here, and he does pop to Bobo's Maledict. Magi popping his ult now. Scary Kit in position for a really good impale if he wants to get it. Trying to find Live Grid, gets the stun onto LDK. Sybonic hiding the trees, trying to TP away the cast, going to cancel that. Now they get the steal onto the impale by the Rubik as well. The Malediction, Sybonic going to go down too, and they're just trying to escape as much as they can. The Sneeze connects onto a lot of heroes, and he just starts TPing away. I don't know if that's the play. Will he get away? Yes, the impale not going to get him out, and Rubik also able to slip away while Control just, with his Radiance, decides, you know what? I'm just going to push. He was very far from that fight. He could have TP'd to the Shrine, but I doubt it would have changed anything. And he claims that tier 2. They did lose Sybonic, and they did lose the Phantom Lancer, but got that final tier 2 of the game. And they did get that top Shrine as well. So continuing to build a lead, now sitting at 7K in their favor. Spicy Thieves looking solid despite a couple mishaps here and there. However, they cannot underestimate the power of the, just like Maledict plus AA Blast, devastating. I mean, just PL just looked like nothing once he got hit by that and a couple stuns. Meteor Hammer coming in to try to slow things down, stealing that Nyx Assassin Impale once again. He does have it, gets the lift coming out onto Lycan. Lycan's going to get stunned up, and now Control getting that the Purification. Magi just going to burn in a Meteor Hammer channel coming out from Sybonic. It's not going to be necessary, and they'll get those two heroes rather quickly. Lycan and Nyx dying off as they push in deep without any kind of backup at all. Very questionable for them to go in like that. They saw that all these Radiant heroes were alive, but went in with just 2 anyways. They also didn't really have vision or information suggesting that they could do that safely. So a bit questionable, and now Control leading the charge. LDK right behind him. They're going to just try to push, and Nature's Prophet now TPing in. An army of Sprout Trees and a Meteor Hammer. He's going to try to get the push going. Shiva's Guard nearly completed for this Vengeful Spirit, or sorry, for this Venomancer. Meteor Hammer getting channeled, Wave of Terror, Magic Missile. The AA Blast does not connect, Malediction still going, he's taking a lot of damage. Control pops through, but trying to keep himself alive as much as he can, but I don't know, he might take down to that Maledict. One more tick left, he pops the Repel again. They get a lane of Rax though. We'll be able to engage the cast, bouncing around, doing what it can, but it's not enough. They may be able to catch out LDK. Scary Kitten trying to do what he can. He can get that Impale off. He gets the Vendetta hit. Once again stole this Impale. Will he be able to do anything with it? Throws him back into 2 enemy heroes, stunning them up. LDK trying to run away, continues to spam wards out on his behind him to keep him safe. And the Impale off cooldown. Yules was available, but Nyx not using it. And now they're sending PL Illusions and Treants to push in this top Rax. The range Rax is slowly going to get chipped down. And a 12k gold lead exploding for Spicy Thieves. The Dire struggle to clear these waves out. They need to probably get a Volnir on Venge. Witch Doctor closing in on an Aghanim Scepter. It's an okay item. I think I'd rather see a Force Staff. I mean, Ags is fine, but it's I just don't think it's going to help him keep alive besides the stats. Speaking of keeping alive with stats, Heart of Taras completed by Fragisha. Now an insanely tanky Phantom Lancer with 3.3k HP. His illusion's also going to be incredibly beefy. PL was hard to kill before, but will be even harder to kill now. They do have the tools, the Ice Blast with Malediction. Now he's in the Shadow Blade. He spots somebody out. He is spotted now by Claymate. Claymate doing what he can to defend himself, but it doesn't look like it matters. Massacred by the Phantom Lancer's AA. Just brutalized. Forgive me, it seems I am getting a little bit of lag. Hopefully it does subside. Looks like we're good now. Control might run into this Lycan. Lycan does know that he is there though. A blink forward, getting that degen aura. He doesn't have that talent yet, but still very, very slow. Scary Kitten in the neighborhood. Has double damage, pops the stun. Now they turn on to it. The Meteor Hammer starting to channel. I don't think Control is into it. He pops his Repel, trying to get away. They steal Howl, I believe. Gonna blink away from Control. Means he's just fine. This Omni also going to be really, really difficult to kill. He's very tanky, but just compounding the issue of Fragisha. Can heal him, can repel him. Since PLs don't typically build BKB outside of like extreme circumstances, they just want lots of stat items to make their illusions stronger, i.e. Diffusal, SNY, Heart of Taras. Shadowblade's fine, I think. Could transition into a Silver Edge, which it looks like he is getting. Have spotting him out, has Dust. They may want to try to go on to him. They do pop the Dust onto Fragisha. I don't know if that's going to be enough to kill him though, and it looks like he's just after Magi. A TP coming in from Sybonic. They're trapped in the trees. He does have a Quelling Blade to try to get away, and he should be okay here. control, just diving in deep. There is a cask available from Bobo. He does pop the malediction out onto one. They're going to try to get that stun, that right click onto control. Control, though, going right after Bobo. He pops his Glimmer Cape onto himself. They're channeling that Meteor Hammer from the next assassin. It's not going to connect onto Dwitty. Just prop that for each going after Bobo. Bobo getting low. Still alive for now, but we'll see if that stays. The Phantom Lance will kill him. Now the top rack's going to go down. They lose that whole set of racks. And there's still a ton of creeps in the base, a ton of treants as well, just harassing them. We'll trap him inside. Does have that Quelling Blade, though. A nice value Quelling Blade. Meteor Hammer going to stun the Lycan Wolves, though. They may turn their attention to this bot tier 3 as the last one. They see Blue's Fav. Or, not Blue. Huh. You see Fav, the Magic Missile juked and dodged. He's going after him. The Shadow Blade on cooldown. Ice Blast going to miss. Fav getting beat down by the field. He's claiming also in serious trouble. The Shadow Blade pot going to get some serious bonus damage on the claiming. Claiming going to go down. Now the ult from the Venal. And it looks like a stolen Death Lord from Rubik. Finding themselves a double kill. The Meteor Hammer or a nice Spike Carapace stun. Speaking of Meteor Hammer, going to get popped and not going to be able to find that next assassin. And GG is called as Spicy Thieves played excellently. And one bad fight for the Dire for no Courier Snipe just turned into, it just spiraled out of control. The PL was able to split and farm pretty much the whole game, uncontested, and then once he joined the fights, and they were already struggling in fights before he joined them, it just went downhill from there. So again, a friendly scrimmage, both teams likely experimenting with the different drafts, but congratulations to Spicy Thieves for the victory. I do not know if I'm casting anymore tonight, but if I am, I'll restart the stream.